Hi, my name is Charlotte Christensen, and this is my narration for the final creative project. What inspired me to create this project? I was inspired to create this project by the auditory imagery in the book The Bluest Eye and the short story of Woman Hollering Creek. How did you create this project? What was your process? I created this project using paints, specifically acrylic paints on watercolor paper. First, I brainstormed possible options for the paintings, then outlined the shapes before painting them. After adding in a few small touches, such as outlines, the paintings were both completed. Something that I particularly struggled with was conveying sound through the paintings, so I ended up focusing more on the feelings that I was trying to convey and make the viewer feel. In the first painting, this project was meant to show the importance of connection and helping to liberate people. Cleophilas is trapped in her marriage, and she is in pieces, so to speak, before the doctor and Felice help her to leave. In doing so, they are handing her the puzzle piece that she needs to rise above the isolation she's been living in. Sound and auditory imagery play a part in this painting as well. While Cleophilas is still with her husband, she is quiet, doing her best not to take up any space. There are a lot of sexist expectations placed on her, and she cannot turn to anybody for support lest they gossip about her. She is fully alone in this silence. Others yell at her, but they do not share her interest even in the creek. However, once she is leaving, it is as if she has been given leave to exist loudly again. By granting her freedom and liberation, and by offering her the last puzzle piece and laughing as they drive, Felice grants her the ability to take up space, to be loud, and Cleophilas takes the remaining puzzle piece and places it where it's meant to be, laughing as she does so. The second painting, however, was based more on the bluest eye. It is meant to showcase the isolation that Piccola feels because of beauty standards that she can never really reach. I portrayed Piccola as a little girl observing a sunset. In Morrison's book, she is so focused on attaining something that she cannot have, blue eyes, that she cannot embrace the beauty within herself and free herself from the racist beauty standards that are being imposed upon her. I tried to have the sunset represent the unattainable beauty, something the girl cannot have, is set apart from. I also painted her alone, next to a tree. This is because, while the book is set in a town, the primary locations are its streets and houses, Piccola feels a deep-seated sense of isolation. Placing her in an environment so contrasting to where the story actually takes place was meant to emphasize a distinct lack of connection with other people. The way that I tried to express the auditory imagery was through a lack of movement or action in the painting. Piccola is looking out at the sky, and she is distinctly still, not a part of the sight she's taking in, but a silent observer, similar to how she goes about her life in the book, as a not fully active participant. She is neither swinging nor climbing the tree, though both of those options are available to her, but is instead quite passive in her observation of the sunset. What's one thing about my project that I would improve if I had more time? For the puzzle pieces painting, I would have made a few minor changes to the silhouettes. For the painting based more on the bluest eye, I would have focused more on the sky and coloring. I tried to make the puzzle painting so that it applied to America as well. I think that Muna goes through something very similar to Cleophilas when she needs her to have a connection, in her case with Principal, in order to begin to fully embrace her new life. I wish I had found a way to make the painting feel like it applied to both in this way, but when I was finished, I felt like I couldn't see Muna in it as much as I could see Cleophilas. What is one thing about your project that you feel proud of, or was a challenge that you overcame successfully? One thing about the project that I felt worked out particularly well was the blending of paint colors for the sky of painting based on Woman Hollering Creek. I think it feels like a good gradient of color and can parallel the gradient of sound from the story, with it starting out relatively in quiet tones and ending with Cleophilas laughing. What do you hope your peers and instructors learn from your project? I hope that the takeaway from my project is the importance of connection and integration as a means of overcoming the isolation that marginalization can often bring. The idea is that if Cleophilas, for example, lacks all of the puzzle pieces, then her walls fall apart. It is only by people helping her piece things together that she is able to truly gain agency in her life and rise above her circumstances. Cleophilas leaves her community when she marries, and she feels almost bereft, lost. Piccola doesn't have much community to begin with, and she is lonely and withdrawn. Muna loses her community when she emigrates. With it, she loses a lot of sound in the film, and she must rebuild that. I hope that everyone looking at my project can see these feelings behind the artwork. Thank you.